What's going on, traders? Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to come on as it's Friday and just say I hope that you've all had a really good trading week. And of course, if you didn't, I just want you to keep your heads up. It's not the end of the world as it may seem, it feels to be. But I can promise you, traders, if you just carry on doing what you're doing, focusing, applying yourself, making little tweaks here or there, you will find the success that you're looking for. The format of today's video is just a little bit different. I decided to share with you the trade ideas from Sunday on the weekly Forex Outlook and Reviews. And I'm sharing this with you not to show off or anything. I just want to show you what one, experience can achieve. And secondly, I just want to show you what it really means to stick to your plan. Because a lot of you, of course, have been trading for probably some time. Some of you are new, and you judge yourself based on your short-term results as opposed to your long-term results. And comparable to me, who has been trading for 10 years now, I've probably gone through everything and more that you're going through now. And I can tell you, this is just part of your journey. This is what's going to happen. You will make mistakes. You will lose a lot of trades. And you will win trades from time to time. What you have to be doing is making sure you're identifying what is working and what is not. And then, of course, then doubling down on what is working and avoiding as much as you can, which is impossible to avoid all the time, but avoiding as much as you can what isn't working so you can capitalize on your wins and in turn make profits. So we're going to go through the markets from the weekly Forex Outlook and Reviews. And we're just going to see some of the results. I've had a staggering week this week. And all I can say is I'm just very grateful for those sleepless nights, the blood, sweat, and tears that I've shed, the sacrifices that I've made, the blown accounts that I've had. You know, it has all played a part in my growth. And to be honest with you, I know you all seek to find answers to your questions, but I can tell you now, hand on my heart, the way you will find those answers is by failing, and that will be your biggest teacher. So try to embrace it, as horrible as it may seem or is. Let's be real, is, and let's see if we can work on it to turn it around and get the results we're looking for. So we looked at pound USD on Sunday. We mentioned the overall sentiment of the market has been pushing bearish. We had this short-term intraday uptrend, but we did identify that price was failing to break the highs, and we identified the behavior to the downside. Now, I know we mentioned we're looking for the break of the lows more than anything else. We did also say that if price isn't breaking the lows and this intraday trend continues up, we'll look for the break of the highs. But overall, we was anticipating USD strength. So we want to see this market continuing down. What's really nice here is you have an intraday trend where the brick wall is broken, where we also have price failing to break the highs here. And then we have this bearish behavior. So just follow the process, take some notes. And that's the reason why we was looking for sales. If we take a look at this, you can see here that the market has rallied to the downside, which was a really nice move. And I hope he was able to capitalize on this because, to be brutally honest with you, the retest of this broken structure was absolutely gorgeous. And then we just continue to have really nice momentum and bearish sentiment to the downside. So a really nice call here on sales on GU. Again, I hope he was able to take advantage of this. If not, just take notice of the process that I'm talking about. I mean, my thought process, how I see the markets. And I just want to make sure that you know this is not anything that I've made up. This is just how the market moves. So I'm not trying to sell any fairy dust here or whatever the saying is. This literally just how the market moves. I'm identifying the behavior and the structure in anticipation of the next move. We did say we're looking for sales, and that's exactly what's happened. So let's move on to the next pair. So the next pair we'll take a look at is Euro USD. Now, you probably can see that the overall structure has been bearish. On Sunday, we did say that we're looking for continuation sells in line with this bearish structure. And also we did identify the dollar strength across the board with confluence from pound USD and the previous behavior that closed on Friday, which was bearish in anticipation of a continuation bearish move on EU. We were looking for a break of 1280 or a retest of the structure here. And as you can see, we had a really nice move to the downside. What is really nice to see here is the simplicity of identifying the structure the previous behavior of the market in line with the currency strength and or weakness and confluences across the board. We then try to add even more confluence by seeing if the sentiment in the market is illustrating the same thing. And then we look to make a plan and then, of course, execute that plan. Great trading ideas here on Euro USD with this beautiful break and retest pattern and all the breakout. And it's really nice to see that this movement pushed the downside in line with our analysis. The next pair we'll take a look at is Aussie dollar JPY. So on Aussie dollar JPY, we were looking for continuation sells, identifying Aussie dollar weakness and anticipating the continuation of this bearish structure. Previous close on Friday was bearish. We have a nice structural low, structural high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we're anticipating price to pull back in and around this area for a retest and a continuation down. That's exactly what happened. We had a really nice double top pattern here that formed. And then the new behavior, as you can see here, continued bearish. So a really nice call again here on Aussie dollar JPY, simply just anticipating the structure. Things to take note of here. This is the last lower high where price is respecting. Price comes back to an area, not a single level here. And of course, then the market continues bearish. Now, very simple analysis. We're not trying to anticipate any reversals here. We're just sticking to the overall structure of the market, looking at the behavior across the sentiment of the market, and then trying to add confluences in terms of currency strengths and weaknesses, and just using simple break and retest patterns here and or double tops to look for these trades when the market opens or when it develops. So again, very nice call here on Aussie dollar JPY. Next pair we'll take a look at is CAD JPY. So taking a look at CAD JPY, we did anticipate sells on this market structure based on the fact that price broke out the previous consolidation here. What we're anticipating is the new low to pull back to create the new lower high or respect previous structure in order then to make a new lower low. We was looking at this area here in the market for price to retest or break the structural lows. And as you can see here, the market came back to where we anticipated. And then eventually the market continued pushing bearish. When I say anticipated, we kind of broke above here, but that is what it is. Something I just want to point out now, actually, based on this, because we have price breaking above the double top area here. And I just want to say to you traders, if you took this sell here and you got stopped out, and you was targeting, let's just say, a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade, here in this scenario, you actually lose 1R, right? Because, or let's just say a 3R, because that's what we spoke about yesterday on the YouTube video, in terms of positive expectancy and having an edge. And then you lose, let's say in this scenario, you lose 1R. Now, if the market, of course, decides that it's going to stop you out, then it is what it is. What you do in this scenario is you just accept the loss as a minus 1R. And then what you do is you just move on to the next tradable opportunity. What we identify here for a tradable opportunity is price failing to break the structural highs. You're then looking for price to break the structural low to indicate the bearish sentiment. And then what you're doing is using scaling down techniques to then take advantage of this move as part of a lower high formation here to then go for your 3R again. And as you can see in this scenario, you manage to get yourself into a really nice trade. Now, I don't really want to break down how you get into this trade using scaling down techniques. That's not the point here, but it's just nice to see that the analysis played out. But in this scenario, even if you lose 1R, you still find yourself with a positive expectancy because now you take a trade again in line with your plan. You bank 3R on this trade, and then you come out plus 2R. Even if that was just 2 trades for the week, you're still sitting very nice with 2% return on a 100K account. You're looking at $2,000 for the week. And I think that is pretty decent. So let's move on to our next pair, which is USD Swiss franc. So taking a look at USD Swiss franc here, the idea that we will see this market continue bullish based on the sentiment that the dollar was strong. We also have levels here in the market where price is respecting. Previous behavior on Friday's close was bullish. And we said that if price starts to break above these structural highs, above these structural highs, then the market is more likely to come back to this structure here. That will just fall in line with the consensus that we have in terms of the dollar strength and the confluences we got from GU and EU. And as you probably can see here, the market pushed to the upside. So this was a really nice call again, and just simply identifying structure, respecting the previous higher low or higher low formed, and then anticipating the bullish behavior to continue in line with dollar strength here and see this market go up. So nice call here in USD Swiss franc. The next pair we'll take a look at is USD JPY. So with this structure, we can see that the market is not clearly trending up and or trending down. I was really upset with myself with this analysis, to be honest with you, because my predictions were to see gold push bearish, meaning that in theory, USD JPY should push bullish. I did anticipate either a break of the highs here for continuation higher, but I did also mention that we could be breaking the lows. Bit cheesed off with myself because identifying dollar strength across the board and seeing price respecting 113.77, I should have just said to myself, well, look, in theory, this is still a buy bias market. And if we break 114.37, then that is the cert that we'll take, as opposed to sells and having two directional biases. It's not wrong because you can take either or, but just for me, just a little something I wish that I maintained in terms of my analysis. Gold down, UJ up, USD strength up, etc., etc. But anyway, we set a break of the lows here. We look for sells, a break of the highs. We look for buys. And then as you can see here, this is clearly what happened. Price broke above, and then we had this continuation up. So again, nice call here. Just something for me to think about in the future to make sure that I'm maintaining that consistency with my analysis. The next pair we'll take a look at is New Zealand dollar JPY. So New Zealand dollar JPY, we did anticipate a continuation of this bearish move, identifying New Zealand dollar weakness and yen strength. Current sentiment of the market or structure of the market has been pushing bearish. Current sentiment of the market is bearish behavior. And we said if price can break these structural lows, then we should see a continuation to the downside. And then as you can see here, this is exactly what happened. So really nice move. Really interesting to see price respecting the new form structural high, forming that double top, leaving a really nice bearish candle to the downside with a wick rejection in anticipation of a continuation to the downside. So really nice movement here on New Zealand dollar JPY. What happened? Did it continue to move down? Oh, yes, it did. Big time. Okay, fantastic. The next pair we'll take a look at is USD CAD. Here on USD CAD, we identified USD strength again. We also identified the trend to the upside. We did say with the structure, this is not really a clear high that we can anticipate price to break above and continue higher, but we do expect it to move higher. And in any instance, what we want to see in a sequence like this is we want to see price come back to a key level and retest. This is exactly what we mentioned on the Sunday analysis. And as you probably can see here, the market broke above, left for a good period of time, created those bullish candles, indicating bullish behavior, beautiful retest. And look, the market has pushed the upside. So again, really beautiful analysis on USD CAD, simply following the trend in the market, 100 pip move here. So I do hope he was able to capitalize on this one. The next pair we'll take a look at is pound JPY. Now, with pound JPY, we did see that the market sentiment had been pushing bearish. We did break above these highs, but we did identify again pound showing signs of weakness with pound USD moving bearish. The close of Friday's 4H candle was bearish, and you can see the sentiment here is breaking the previous structural lows. So it's looking for a retest of these structures or a break of the lows here to look for continuation sells. And as you can see here, price come back to this level. It respected it really well. And then, as you can see, we continue to push bearish. So again, a really nice call here on pound JPY, simply just identifying key levels, understanding the structure of the market, as well as the behavior and the sentiment of pound weakness. And then just looking, obviously, for tradable opportunities based on your strategy in line with the overall plan. The final pair we'll take a look at is gold. Gold has been an absolute blessing this week. I've managed to get into a lot of trades, and you probably would have seen at the start of the week, I managed to stack 15 positions on this gold sell. And this was the call that I made on Sunday, which was identifying the behavior, the failure to break above, dollar showing signs of strength. We have a brick wall break for the first time in a long time. And the trading idea that was mentioned was if we break the structural low, we should see a continuation to the downside. And as you probably can see here, it has been absolutely massive. So that was the analysis last week, Sunday. These are the results. I think the only one that I wasn't too happy with was USD JPY, even though we did call the right side of the market or the right direction of the market. I still wish that I was a bit more consistent with my analysis, but that just happens. Other than that, I think the rest of the analysis talks for itself. Again, this is just down to experience, executing, making tons and tons of mistakes, failing many times, but ultimately not giving up, coming out of the other side, traders, and look, the results speak for themselves. And all I want really is the best for you as well. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask you to do is just hit that like button for me, the thumbs up button, turn on notifications so you're around for when I released my next videos. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And as I always say, continue to trust the process.